Welcome back to Am I Tesla Guy. Thank you so much for coming back for another video. By the time I get this video out, this will probably be old news, but I do have a full-time job. But nonetheless, I still want to get videos put out. So this video is about the 2021 Tesla Model 3 refresh, and overall, I like the changes. But let's dig down into each of the changes and cover them one by one. I'll kind of share what those changes are and what my thoughts are on it. So let's start with actually the exterior differences, because I think those are the ones you're going to notice first because they're on the outside of the car. The first one I'm going to mention is the Chrome delete. So as you can see from the photo, they have now done the Chrome delete from the factory, similar to how the Model Y is. And I have to admit, I like the look of a Chrome delete. I think whether this is a good change or a bad change to you is going to depend on your personal preference. I know quite a few people who do prefer Chrome, and that's great. Then they should have the Chrome. I do know several people who prefer a Chrome delete of some kind, which would happen to be me. The only downside, I think, in this case is for those who do prefer Chrome. You know, I don't know if there's a Chrome delete out there where you can have a vinyl that looks like Chrome that you can put over top of the Chrome deleted version. There's a lot of enterprising people out there. I'm sure if it can be done, somebody will start selling something like that. Whereas those of us who prefer the Chrome delete, even when it came with Chrome from the factory, we could always do the Chrome delete. So I do happen to be a fan of the Chrome delete, but I think that's going to be kind of in the eye of the beholder on what the preference is. All right, number two on the exterior is going to be the difference in the wheels or the wheel covers. If you look really close in this photo of the Model 3, you can see it has the Aero wheels on it, and they do look a little different. I don't know how to explain it. Let me put a picture of my Aero wheels in here, and then you can kind of compare the two to each other. I think it looks like less of the Aero cover has that silvery gray look to it, and more of it is dark. Maybe that's just me. Drop a comment down below to let me know your thoughts, but that's just my look. I actually do like the look of these new ones, assuming it's not just my eyes playing tricks on me. I do think it looks better. Then you'll have the 19-inch sport wheels, and if you look at those, the difference is really subtle. I have to admit, I can see the difference when you kind of look at them side by side in photos, but they're really close. I know some people who maybe have a pickier eye than me can spot the difference right away, and they either really like it or they really don't like it. I am kind of ambivalent on this one. I think they look okay either way. And then the final one is that now you can get the Uber turbine wheels on the Model 3. I think that may be only the performance. I apologize for not knowing that. And you look at the photo of those, I just think those wheels look sweet on a Model 3. I think they look better on a Model 3 than they do on a Model Y. But again, anything that's kind of visual, it's really going to be up to you. It's going to be kind of in the eye of the beholder. But I think they look pretty sweet on the Model 3. I think they look nice on the Model Y, but I think they look better on the Model 3. All right, so the last thing on the outside, the powered trunk. This is something that people have been asking for a long time. Tesla owners have asked about it. I have to admit, I don't care. I feel like I am the only person in the world who owns a Tesla or wants a Tesla who does not care that my trunk does not have a power open close. I just don't care. It's a small car. I've never had a car this size that had power open and close. Actually, we've only had one car that had a power, in that case, liftgate, and that was a minivan. And that makes sense. Huge, door in the back. Makes sense to lift it up. I personally don't have any problems with the fact that the trunk on the Tesla Model 3 and on our Model 3 Standard Range Plus does not have a power trunk. But you know what? For all those where that's really important, I'm very happy for you. I'm actually very happy for the community because it shows that Tesla was listening to the feedback. I know it makes a difference to a lot of people, and I am pretty sure I am in a distinct minority. If you're in the minority too, would you mind dropping a comment down below just to let me know that I'm not alone? I take it back. That was not the last item on the outside. All right, now for the last item on the outside, and this one is more rumored, I think. I have not found anything official from Tesla that says that this is in fact a feature of the Model 3 now, and that is auto-dimming side mirrors. My car does not have it. I believe when the Model 3 first came out, it did have auto-dimming side mirrors. I'm hoping that it is there because that is actually one that I think is pretty neat. I really would like auto dimming side mirrors. A lot of times I'll just end up adjusting my mirror, or I'll end up driving like this to kind of block the glare that's coming off the side mirror. So that's a pretty cool feature. Again, if you have found anything official from Tesla confirming that, please do let me know down in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that. That would confirm it for me, but it'd also confirm it for anyone else who's watching this video and sees your comment down below. So that is the last item on the outside. So we will head inside the car now. Well, inside the car and under the hood. And first on the inside, and really the only thing I'm aware of, will be a change to the center console of the car. The current console, you know, you've got the wireless charging pad. That's been in them since, I think, June of this year, coming standard. So my car's got it because my car was built in June. And you've got the flip-up lid for that. And then you've got that center area in between the charging pads and the drink holders, where you can, I've actually got a tray in there on mine, but that's just kind of a deep area where you can put it, and when you open that up and you lift up the charging pad, it's kind of all open in there. But if you look at the new one, there's this sliding mechanism that I think is a little more akin to what you'd see in a Model S, or I believe in a Model X as well. And I'm already, just in the couple days I've been recording this video, I'm sort of changing my mind on my opinion, although not really. Jeremy Ludkins, hopefully I'm getting your name right, Jeremy. I'll link to his channel down below. Put out a video today. This is October 19th, Monday, October 19th, when I'm recording this part of the video. And it actually shows a video that he found of the mechanism, the sliding mechanism. And I actually think it's kind of cool where you slide it, you know, forward to open it, but then you just kind of push it a little bit and then it self-closes. I like that. I think it's kind of neat. It looks neat with the interior. It looks like maybe you'll be able to put a tray in there as well. I'm sure some company will come out with a tray for it. The other thing about it is it's a little more premium looking, stitching and things like that. The big difference really to me is not just how that opens, but the fact that where the charging pad is, there is no cover for it. It's just always open. He said in the video it almost looks like there's some kind of a suede material on it. I personally don't like the always open. One of the things I like to do is if I'm putting my phone on the charging pad, I'll actually put it on the charging pad in my car and then just close that door. Less distraction, less to think about. As small a thing as that is, it does actually help me forget about the fact that there's a phone there, so I'm not even really tempted to look at it, which is good, because I shouldn't be looking at it while I'm driving. It's so stupid, really, because I know it's there. But for some reason, closing that lid just, I don't know, all of a sudden, out of sight, out of mind, you know. One thing that Ryan McCaffrey pointed out on the Ride the Lightning podcast, which I will link to below, which I listen to every single week, is that he's not going to miss getting that message on the Tesla of please close console door slowly. If you haven't gotten that yet, good for you. I got it within the first day of owning the car, because I kept forgetting this is kind of closed by magnets. You don't need to slam it down. You don't need to do anything like that. And if you push it down too hard, of course, it'll open back up. And then you keep doing that. And there will actually be a message that pops up on the screen that asks you to close it gently. So center console, that's the next one. All right, now, since that was the only thing that I was aware of in the interior cabin of the car, let's talk about the other thing, and that is the heat pump. This is something that was big news with the Model Y. The Model Y was the first Tesla vehicle to get it, and I think having this is a big deal, at least for me. I mean, this is MI Tesla guy. We're in Michigan. We can have some pretty harsh winters. We can have some pretty cold weather, and there are plenty of other places in the States and Canada and throughout the world who have cold weather as well. And I will take any bit of increase in efficiency that I can get, especially with a standard range plus model where I'm at the lowest end of the range of the vehicles that Tesla makes. And actually, if you look at the changes to range, which I will talk about here in a moment, you will see the standard range plus has an increased range. I imagine that that is a result of the heat pump. I would imagine most of the range increases in the Model 3s across the lineup with this refresh are a result of the heat pump. See, now maybe the wheels, those new Aero wheels, maybe there's something else that's been done that helps with the efficiency, but I'm gonna guess that the bulk of that is coming from the heat pump. So I think that is a great thing. The only thing with that is, if you remember back, it was in the news maybe, I feel like it was maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, that all of a sudden Model 3s had a smaller front trunk. The thinking at that time is that that was to make way for the heat pump, and I think that will prove true if we now in this refresh have the heat pump. I personally would be totally okay with having a slightly smaller front trunk to have the heat pump. All right, well, we've covered the exterior of the car, we've covered the interior of the car, the cabin, and we've covered under the hood. And you're probably thinking, Mike, there was a massive change with this refresh, and you either ignored it or you saved it for last. Well, guess what? I saved it for last, and that is increased range. And in the case of the long-range all-wheel drive model and the performance, increased performance. So let's take a look at that real quick. For the standard range plus, previously you had a 250 mile rated range, which is what my standard range plus has. Now you have a 263 mile rated range. The performance of the standard range plus stays the same, 0 to 60 in a published 5.3 seconds, so that did not change. Now, for the long range all-wheel drive, that one is amazing. It is now up to 353 miles of rated range. I mean, that is really amazing. I think it completely gets rid of the range anxiety argument. I don't really have range anxiety in my standard range plus, personally, but if you've got 353 rated range, that's not going to be your real world range. It could be more, it could be less. What you'll also notice by looking on here, which you probably already saw, is that the performance of the long range all-wheel drive also changed. It is now 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. I believe before it was 4.4. So you gain 0.2 of a second with that. The final one is the performance. And that one, because of the tires and wheels that were on it, I believe primarily that was the cause. That had just under 300 miles of range, but now even the performance model is over 300 miles of range. As you can see here, it comes in at 315 miles of range. And it got 0.1 of a second quicker, 0 to 60. It is now 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. I think this is just awesome. The range increases. Tesla, they just keep doing it. Everybody seems to be coming out with things and talking big and making promises. And what I really like about Tesla is they just do it. They end up talking about it, but I mean, they just come out with a surprise and they just do it. There were rumors about a refresh and things like that, but here we are. It's just bam. Okay, here we go. Here are all these improvements you've got, assuming you can consider some of them improvements. I know some people will consider them a step back, but I just think that is so cool. So there you go with a whole overview of all the changes that I'm aware of. Again, I've been trying to record this off and on as I can over the past few days. And even in the past few days, I'm reading articles of even additional changes that have happened as far as, like, say, for instance, the number of USB ports in the front console. The fact that now your hard drive or your USB drive for your Sentry mode and dash cam footage, now that's going to be in the glove box. Things like that. I'm still looking for confirmation on a lot of it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have all the answers for you today, but I wanted to hit on the highlight. I see the vast majority of these as improvements, and the big one, again, the range is really awesome. Tesla's doing a great job of just squeaking out every ounce of range they can, and I'm excited to see these on the road. I will tell you, I am not the least bit interested in getting a different car. That's probably the question that everybody's thinking, oh my goodness, Mike, you're a car guy. Are you now thinking, oh, I need to sell mine and I need to get one of these new ones because of these other things? Absolutely not. Thought didn't even cross my mind. I know my wife will be so proud of me. It shows personal growth that the thought didn't even cross my mind. I love my car. I absolutely love this car. I have never enjoyed driving a car as much as I enjoy this one. And I've had some pretty fun cars to drive. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, would you please throw me a thumbs up, like down below, consider subscribing, consider sharing it with others, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.